Alright fellas, simply how good was that? Eubank Jr and Conor Benn finally met in the ring after years of drama, and both men put on a show that was completely deserving of the hype. No matter what you thought of all the drama beforehand, it's undeniable that both men went out there and gave it their all in a bout that provided non-stop action and honoured their fathers' legacies. Now, after what was such a great event, I want to break down everything that happened, as well as what is most likely next for the pair. But just quickly, if it's your first time here, my name's Closer, and this channel is your one-stop shop for everything boxing, so make sure to subscribe and I'll always keep you in the loop. Now, for what was really a regional level British boxing fight, this bout had the world captivated. From their father's legacy, to the cancelled fight, to the drama at the press events, even if you hated the idea of this fight, you were still tuning in. I won't talk too much about the old drama, but the weigh-ins yesterday only increased the drama for this event. Eubank Jr would come in overweight, only slightly, and Benn would come in a few pounds short. Eubank looked drained at the face-off, but Benn looked alright, and there were questions if Eubank could make the rehydration clause the next morning. But he did. He made the 170-pound limit and we had ourselves a fight. Whilst tonight on Fight Night, the drama didn't stop either. Chris Eubank Sr. to all of our surprise turned up to show support to his son. I didn't think that was going to happen. None of us really did. But it was nice to see them put away whatever grievances they had for the moment to unite for tonight. It was honestly a pretty beautiful thing to see. Yet, the dramas didn't stop there. Ex-Eubank opponent Billy Joe Saunders was sent to watch Eubank's hand wraps by the Benn camp, only to be not allowed in and massive arguments between Saunders and Eubank security kicking off. Billy Joe was sent back packing to the Benn camp. And I gotta say also, I don't think we're gonna see him back in the ring anytime soon. Billy Joe looks incredibly comfortable in retirement. Yet then it was time for the fight. Both had spectacular ring walks and it just looked like a great atmosphere. I'm really jealous of all the British fans that got to watch it live. There's not too many better atmospheres in boxing than a big British fight night. And with a crowd close to 70,000, it certainly lived up to that. Now, from the opening bell, the size difference was clear. Eubank looked massive compared to Benn. And Eubank Jr, he started strong. He used his size and sharp jab to control the early action. Benn looked wild through the first and showed off his aggression. In round 2, Benn's work rate edged him the round. In round 3, he hurt Eubank with a counter, forcing Eubank to tie up and recover. Eubank Jr regained control in the 4th, landing a clean uppercut and putting his punches together better as the chants of Eubank filled the stadium. Round 5 was close again. Eubank controlled the pace, but Benn landed the cleaner shots. Through rounds 6 and 7, Eubank Jr.'s power and size advantage started to become a bit more apparent. He was landing more frequently, including a flush uppercut, while Benn continued to show incredible durability. In round 8, Jr had Benn backed up to the ropes, battering him with heavy shots, although Benn just kept walking through them. Round 9 was almost fought entirely toe-to-toe. Through this, Eubank Jr suffered a cut over his right eye from an accidental clash of heads. Round 10 saw a huge momentum swing when Benn landed a lunging hook that badly hurt Jr. Benn poured on with wild attacks, but he couldn't finish him, and Eubank Jr stormed back in the final seconds. In rounds 11 and 12, both men fought almost entirely on heart and will, exchanging savage power shots non-stop. Eubank Jr trapped Benn on the ropes late, but both were landing massive punches. And that was that. The fight ended with a standing ovation from the massive crowd. And the result was a unanimous decision win to Chris Eubank Jr. And I reckon that was pretty fair. Although Benn did put up an amazing fight, 116-112 on all cards seemed pretty fair to me. Let me know how you scored it in the comments down below. What I also liked after the fight was the respect from both parties. Even with all the bare blood and family rivalry, all parties were incredibly respectful. Hey, even Eddie Hearn was emphasizing respect post-fight. I also love to see Nigel be there for Conor, embracing him and supporting him. That's a great father-son bond right there, through thick and thin. And even though Benn lost, he would have done his father incredibly proud. Yep, both fighters did themselves proud tonight, and it was a great night overall for British boxing, as well as boxing as a whole. Another point of note is after the fight, it was said that Eubank Jr went straight to the hospital after an apparent broken jaw. But as I'm recording this, there's not too much information about it, that's just what's coming out. But of course the question turns to what's next for the pair. Now there is a rematch clause, with the rumoured rematch being set for September/October. I reckon this is incredibly likely. Why? Because this fight would have been a great return on investment for the ring. This was one of the first Ring magazine cards, run by Saudi boxing chief His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. The hype, the drama, the all-action fight, it would have ticked all the boxes for them, and hosting events like this would be way cheaper than, say, hosting an undisputed heavyweight fight. The purses, although large, would be way smaller than anything like that. The only one who might not want the rematch is Eubank Jr, but with the money at play, it would be hard for him to say no. With that rematch clause, terms are apparently already agreed, and I think everyone would want to see them run it back. We now have a taste of what they can bring to the table, and another fight would be certain to be another classic. Simply put, this is what I see next, and it makes sense in terms of timing and what else is going on with the sport. The winner of this fight was rumoured to be getting Canelo early next year. Although it's clear that Benn would have been way too small to fight Canelo, this is what was going around. If they rematch in October, that gives enough time for Canelo to get through Skull, and Crawford would be scheduled for about the same time. If Eubank wins a rematch, it opens a door for a big Eubank-Canelo fight early next year. This has been rumoured before. The idea of Eubank versus Canelo is nothing new. Would it be a demolition from Canelo? Yeah, but it could absolutely happen. But if that doesn't happen, what could we see? Well, Benn would probably move back down a couple divisions and aim to take on Mario Barrios for his belt. Although Benn hasn't fought down at 147 for about 3 years now, he's still ranked at number 3 by the WBC, and he would claim the WBC belt the same as his father. The only thing in the way of that bout happening is a rumoured Manny Pacquiao return, with him being rumoured to be fighting Barrios for the belt in a few months' time. For Eubank Jr, where would he go if there's no rematch? Well, I reckon if he does fight in the meanwhile, it wouldn't be the highest level opponent. He would want to sit around and wait for potential chances of getting that elusive Canelo fight. He would really only want to risk it unless there's another big money fight there for him. But if I had to guess, I would say a rematch is next for the pair, and I'm certainly looking forward to it. Yet as I usually say after events like these, the real winner of this is really the sport of boxing. Seeing a massive packed out stadium and support for a fight like this is exactly what the sport needs. For a sport which everyone claims is dying, nights like this prove the opposite. Yet now I'm turning it to you. I want to hear what you think at home. Who did you have winning? What are your scorecards? Your thoughts on all the dramas? And what do you see next for the pair? I want to hear all your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't leave anything out, leave your honest opinions down below. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really does a ton to help the channel. Yet, thanks for watching fellas, and I'll catch you in the next one.